Construction is a tough job. There's no doubt about it. But does it have to literally break your body? Today, we're going to look at some simple, really powerful solutions that can make the work smarter, safer, and a whole lot less punishing.
So let's just start with a number that should make you stop and think. According to NIOSH, back injuries in construction, they're not just a little higher, they're 50% higher than in all other industries combined. I mean, just let that sink in. That's not a small gap, that's a chasm. It's telling us something is seriously wrong with how the work is getting done. And that leads to this huge question, right? For forever, it seems, the attitude has been, hey, aches and pains, that's just the price you pay for doing tough work. But what if that's just a really old, outdated idea? What if we can finally move past it? Okay, so let's dig in and look at the real cost of this work, the hidden toll it takes on the body, day in and day out. 7 out of 10. That's how many construction workers in one big survey said they had back pain. That's not a minority. It's not even just a majority. That is practically everybody. This isn't just a problem. It's an epidemic. And there's an official name for this stuff, work-related musculoskeletal disorders, or WMSDs for short. And look, we're not just talking about a sore back after a long shift. This covers everything from sprains and strains to stuff that can end a career, like carpal tunnel or tendinitis.
All right, so how do we fight back against this? Well, the solution is actually found in a science that's designed for this exact purpose. And that science is called ergonomics. Now, I know that word might sound kind of complicated, but the idea behind it is super simple. It's all about finding the best fit between a person and their job. And here's the key. It's not about forcing the worker to adapt. It's about redesigning the work to fit the worker. And this is the fundamental shift in thinking. The old way, it just forces a person's body to deal with the job, no matter how awkward or painful it is. The ergonomic way, it flips that completely. It redesigns the job itself to fit the natural strengths and, importantly, the limits of the human body.
So what are we really looking for? Well, these risk factors are the daily grind on a work site. We're talking about stuff like carrying heavy loads, twisting your hands or wrists in weird ways, always stretching the work overhead, spending hours on your knees, repeating the exact same motion thousands of times, or using tools that vibrate all day. Every one of those things is like a small deposit into an injury account that's eventually going to come due. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solutions. We're going to break down the 3 really common high-risk areas and show you how simple, practical fixes can make a world of difference. So first up, floor-level work. If you've ever had to tie rebar or finish concrete, you know this pain personally. All that bending, stooping, kneeling, it puts this huge, constant strain right on your lower back and your knees. And check this out, here's the fix. On the left, that's the back-breaking reality for so many people. But on the right, a simple rebar tying tool with an extension handle. And just like that, the worker is standing upright. The body is saved because the tool is taking all the strain. And the benefits here are just a total game changer. I mean, obviously, you're cutting down the risk of injury to your hands, your wrists, your back. But get this, these tools can actually be twice as fast as tying by hand. So you're not just working safer, you're working smarter and a heck of a lot faster. All right, our second problem area is overhead work. Holding a heavy tool above your head all day long, that's just a recipe for disaster for your neck, your shoulders, and your arms. That cumulative strain is just massive. And again, the solution is so simple, it's brilliant. A bit extension shaft. Instead of straining to hold that heavy drill motor way up high, you can hold it down at a comfortable chest or waist level. Your posture stays neutral, and all that stress on your shoulders, it just vanishes. Finally, let's talk about lifting and handling materials. Just imagine stacking concrete blocks. Each one can weigh up to 50 pounds, and you're lifting them over and over and over. That repetitive load puts a relentless strain on your back and shoulders. So the fix here isn't even a new tool, it's just a smarter material. Instead of that old 50-pound standard block, you can use these lightweight concrete blocks. They're 30 to 40% lighter, and, this is the important part, they are engineered to be just as strong. So what's the bottom line? Every single lift becomes less damaging. That directly cuts down on fatigue and muscle strain. And hey, it's simple math, right? A worker who's less tired is a more productive worker, not just for one day, but over a whole career. Okay, let's connect all these dots, because making work safer isn't just good for workers, it's really good for business.
And this right here, this might be the single most important mindset shift you can make. Ergonomics isn't just another expense on a spreadsheet. It is an investment in your people and in your bottom line.
And if you're still thinking about the cost of a new tool, look at this number, $7,300. That was the average cost for one single musculoskeletal injury claim. All of a sudden, the price of that new tool, or those lighter blocks, doesn't seem so high, does it?
And that really leads us to this dual payoff. For workers, the benefit is crystal clear: fewer aches, fewer pains, and a much longer, healthier career. And for employers, you get higher productivity, lower workers' comp costs, and honestly, better morale on site. It is the definition of a win-win. In the end, it all just boils down to something really simple. A small change in a tool, or a material, or even just a process. It can make a massive difference in preventing a life-changing injury. It's about looking for those small wins that add up to something big. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Next time you're on the job site, just look around. What's one simple fix, one small change that you can see that could make someone's job, maybe even your own, just a little bit easier and a whole lot safer?